We have a question, or it's a journalism question. In both your opinions, what makes a good journalist? What do you envision as the ideal way to cover a football team or a baseball team?
I love that question. Do you know who asked it?
49ers 1 2 3 4 5 6 1.
Beechwood 4 5 7 8 9.
Yes.
Anyway, there are two answers. I'll give my answer, and Grant will give his, because we do different things. I did not cover a team as a beat writer. I was a columnist. So as a columnist, you want to have engaging and I'd say provocative columns. So people say, what is Lowell thinking today, whether I agree with them or not? Well-researched, well thought out, and the key issue that day, whatever it is. What Grant does is a whole other thing.
Yeah, what I do is I'm a beat writer. I have opinions too, but I had to make it as a beat writer, and I had to compete with very, very good established beat writers. So what I think to make it in this industry, if you're in your 20s, you have to outwork your competition, because people are making $60, $70, $80,000 with benefits. They may be in a groove. What works for them? You can do more. So you should be doing writing. You should be doing videos. You should have opinions. You should try to break news. You should break down film. You should do the whole thing. And if you can, you will instantly create a niche for yourself, because usually there aren't going to be other people like that on the beat. You want to be the hardest working guy. And if you are, you'll stand out immediately.
I want to say one other thing about what Grant does, not about what I did. When I covered the Niners, when I was at the Chronicle for 15 years, I covered them with Ira Miller, who everyone acknowledges is the greatest beat writer who's ever set foot on earth. And now there wasn't all this, tweeting and video. He just wrote articles like me, but he wrote coverage articles. And what he did is he always broke news. If there was some problem on the team, Ira wrote it. Was the team happy about it? No. Did they have to live with it? Yes. Did readers eat it up? Damn right. And if there were, if somebody was hurt, or if somebody wasn't getting along with a coach, or if players weren't getting along, or if someone was going to get traded, or whatever, Ira had it. It used to drive the Niners crazy. That's what someone does. And now it's very hard for local beat writers to break that kind of news, because the teams, and I don't know how this works, the teams seem to be in bed with the whisper guys, the whisper people.
They really are. The teams want to feed the information to Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, because as a quid pro quo, those two will feed them information.
Right. And what happened when you broke the news that Kittle was about to sign? You said he would sign on a Friday, and they did. The team was not happy with you, and neither were the other beat writers.
Right.
They were not happy, because it seems to me that now the agreement is nobody makes anybody else look bad. Ira Miller wanted to rub your face in it. And I think they had a lot of problems and fetched about details, when in fact you changed the whole narrative of that. And I was really impressed that you did.
I like this topic. Let's stay with it. The fellow beat writers are not your colleagues, and they're not really your friends. I mean, you can be friendly with them, but you're supposed to be competing with them the way that the 49ers compete with the Cardinals. They don't go into a game being like, let's tie. Let's do the same stuff today so that neither of us get fired. I'm not saying that's what people do, but that's not what Ira did. And what Ira did, he broke real news. No one does that anymore. The news that gets broken locally is who got cut an hour before he got cut. Yeah. Who made the practice squad an hour before it got announced. That's not breaking news. That's the team feeding someone information so that they have credibility. Or an agent, someone, so that you have credibility. But you're not breaking a story that wouldn't have gotten out without your contributions. You're not putting something out there that makes the team uncomfortable. I think what local beat writing has become nationally is people kissing up to the local team. Not in the Bay Area in particular, nationally. It's just guys who have no clout or courage, and they just want to get sources from one organization, the one they cover. Ira had sources throughout the league. So if the Niners didn't want to tell him, he'd call up the Seahawks or the Rams or whoever he needed to.
When Ira called the team, he immediately got the general manager. Oh, it's Ira Miller. When he called Dallas, he got Jerry Jones on the phone. I mean, everybody answered for Ira. I want to tell one other story about Ira and about beat writing. And you know the story, Iggy.
Mhm.
When the Niners got rid of Seifert and hired Mariucci, Brian Murphy, we were at the Press Democrat, Santa Rosa Press Democrat together. And Brian, I can't tell you how it's his scoop, but he got it.
Yep.
And he knew it. And in fact, he had to call Seifert for comment. And Seifert said to him, you're getting way ahead of yourself, son. You're getting way ahead of yourself. And Murph went with it, and he was right. Well, the next day, they had a big news conference at a hotel, a big ballroom in San Francisco. And Murph was there, I was there, everybody was there, all the TV channels. And everybody was looking to see how will Ira handle this, because Ira got beat on the change of coach. Well, we were all there in front of everybody before Mariucci came in. Ira walked over to Murph. Murph stood up. Ira shook out his hand and he said, great going, really good going, Brian, really good.
Ira.
And Ira showed everybody how a journalist has grace, how he's a mensch. Now, I'm not going to use a name, but there was another very famous beat writer who covered the team, and he's a good guy. He's a friend of mine. I really respect his work. He snubbed Murph that day, and they haven't been friends since. He took it personally.
I know how that feels. I know how that feels.
Yeah, it's a crummy feeling, and it's a bad way to act.
It is, and it's character revealing. If you can't shake a guy's hand after that, then who are you?
That's right.
Good for Ira.